and welcome back to episode 3 of Real Re, and I just totally rhymed. So I've changed my location for this video because behind me is where baby's room is going to be. Currently it's a spare room, but I can't wait to actually have my nursery set up so it feels real, because pregnancy just doesn't feel real right now. So this week's video is all about my PCOS journey. Now, if you don't know what PCOS is, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I'm no doctor, but basically there's my dog. Basically, it is a condition where you have cysts on your ovaries and can cause a lot of damage as a whole to your body, especially if you want to fall pregnant. So when I was 16, I remember having severe pains in my abdomen, in my pelvic area, and I was vomiting, I was sweating. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So we called an ambulance because I literally couldn't get out of bed, and they came and they were like, oh, she's just a teenage girl, she's getting her period. And I said, mate, if this is my period, fucking take my ovaries out now, because there is no way I'm going through this every month. It was dreadful. So fucking dreadful. I can't even, it's probably the worst pain I've been in my life. I went to the hospital. They said the same thing. Oh, it's probably just your period. He will give you some nausea medication. And I said, I guarantee you I'm gonna throw it up. And they're like, no, you'll be fine. Literally within a minute, I was like projectile vomiting on the floor because they made me move from laying down to a seated position. So instantly the pain had moved because I moved my body. And they're like, okay, something's wrong. I'm like, oh, fucking no shit. I know my body. So yeah, a lot of ultrasound tests, a lot of blood tests and everything like that, and it came back that I had a cyst burst on my right ovary. This is the beginning of me finding out that I had PCOS. I went to a doctor, like my local doctor, and they confirmed I had PCOS and I needed to go on the pill, considering I had never had a period in my life. And I was 16, I had a boyfriend that I was sexually active with at the time. Because I was a little bit overweight as a symptom of PCOS, they told me I needed to go on a diet. Now this diet, I thought was the best thing for me back then. Looking at it now and knowing what I know now, I cringe, but it was my stepping stone of becoming the healthier version of myself. I did lose a lot of weight going on the pill and this diet and more exercise, but my mind is where I really struggled, because I remember being at home and having my friend and my boyfriend over at the time, and I heard them looking up stuff of PCOS and says, does that mean she's going to turn into a boy? Being young and unaware, they've read on the internet that PCOS, one of the things that happens is you get high testosterone, meaning extra hair growth, pimples, excess weight, etc, etc. So they immediately saw testosterone, instantly becoming a man. And because I was young too, I was like, what does that even mean? You know, I don't understand, and I was really unsure and upset. So I thought that I had my PCOS under control from the age of 17 till about 22, and that was just after I got married to my husband. I then found a naturopath, which I have mentioned in the first video when I found out that I was pregnant. Same naturopath. When I first ever met her, I was actually seeing her for my anxiety, because I had really bad anxiety. And if you'd like to know more about that, just let me know and I'm happy to make a video about it. So we dealt with my anxiety first, and again I lost a shitload of weight. I was still on the pill at this time, and she said, you know, you've got your body pretty much in well order, but the only thing that's missing now is your hormones. And I was really scared to come off the pill because, again, I didn't really want children. I was really unsure of like how I'm gonna do this, and I actually have an allergic reaction to latex. So I asked my husband, I'm like, look, you know, she wants me to work on my hormones because it's like the one thing that's not really going well with my body. Are you happy for me to come off the pill? And he was like, do whatever you want, you know, it's your body, it's your health, you need to make sure that you feel good. And I wasn't feeling good. Like, even though I had lost all the weight, I just feel like there was something missing. I was super natural with everything I was drinking and eating, and you know, the supplements I was taking, but I was putting a pharmaceutical in my mouth every single day for my PCOS, being the pill. So I came off it. And the first year I didn't get a single drop of blood, not a single period coming off the pill. And that's when I was like, wow, holy fuck, my hormones must be destroyed at the moment. And then it hit about, I think it was 18 months. I still didn't have a period, and Safi said, usually it takes about a year to get the pill out of your system, but you still haven't had a period. We need to do a saliva test. So basically you can get this hormone saliva test where you've got to spit in a jar for 28 days, especially if you have no cycle. They will tell you what your hormones are doing. So when we got the results back, my testosterone was triple what it was supposed to be. My estrogen was double what it was supposed to be, and my progesterone was half of what it was supposed to be. healthy. So Safi turned around to me and said, there is no fucking way you're having children anytime soon. Your hormones are the worst I've ever seen. So we had to do a lot of work. And I was like, okay, well, I'm fine with that. I don't want children. I just want to have a regular cycle. I think it was about 2 months later, I actually had my first ever proper period, which was so bizarre because I was like, oh, is this what it's supposed to be like, not being on the pill? And then I didn't get one for another 6 months. And I was like, fuck's sake, like, I'm getting impatient. I just want the results, da 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 da. So I then actually tried a vegan diet. I saw something in a documentary where it said that chicken has a lot of testosterone put into the meat, and that was my favorite meat. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna try it. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? That I just go back to eating meat, whatever it might be. And a month later, I got another period, but this time it was super healthy. Like, it was a very, very healthy period. Sorry if this is too much information, but you can pause and close your window at any time. So after that, it was actually 2 weeks later that I conceived this baby growing inside me. The moral of this story is I just wanted to tell you, try new things. If you have PCOS, try new things. Please don't feel like IVF is the first thing you need to go for if you want to have a baby. And this also proves that it takes some fucking time to get your body right. So you may want a baby now, but please know that it could take a couple of months or years, depending on your body, as to whether or not you have a child within this year or the following year. Yeah, try new things. See a naturopath if that suits you. See if you can get a saliva hormone test to see what your hormones are doing. Try the vegan diet if you want to. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian, I have no qualifications. This is just my personal journey. Whatever you do is up to you. I just want to preach that you just try new things. Please don't feel like IVF is the first and final thing that you can try. Just try new things. Work on your mindset, because your mindset is a huge part of it. Work on your spirituality, work on your emotions, yeah, work on your diet. Another thing I will say is gluten and dairy for me was the worst thing I could ever have for PCOS. I'm not going to go into detail, but if you want to Google it, just type in dairy and PCOS and gluten and PCOS and see what comes up, because you will be amazed. I did not know this, and this is what made me cringe, because the first diet I went on when I saw the doctor was very high in grains and very high in dairy. That's my journey for PCOS. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below and I will happily answer them for you. If you want to see or hear from me more often, you can look at my social media accounts of my website, my Facebook and my Instagram. The links are below, and please feel free to subscribe to this channel so you get updates when they pop up. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week with our gender announcement. Bye!